Okay, folks, we've got something interesting to do. But something happened to my thumb. If you're wondering why I've got a band-aid on my thumb, it's a self-inflicted injury. I didn't mean... it's a habit I've got of picking my fingers, picking the cuticles around the fingernail. You can see it's bleeding. And I do believe that came about because I was so badly teased and bullied. For some reason I started harming myself. I think this started when I was about 8 years old. I'm now 50. And it just goes to show what these bitches are capable of doing when you let them. And they just fucking wouldn't stop teasing. They wouldn't stop bullying. They kept fucking pissing me off and hurting my feelings. And I just... for some reason I started picking... I used to pick the knuckles as well. I used to bite the knuckles. Fortunately, I stopped doing that, and they made fun of me and called it me eating a McDonald's, a McFeast. So I really had it really bad at school because I had undiagnosed disabilities, and to this day they're still undiagnosed. And they fucked me up, you know. They didn't care about... Really, I'm so over them. This is what we're doing. Hello Magazine. Gossip magazine. We're interested in this picture. So basically I'm picking my fingers decades later because these bitches at school wouldn't leave me alone. Just wouldn't let me have a relaxing time at school. It was hard enough dealing with the class activities. I had brain damage. I do believe I had brain damage at birth. Mum used to always tell me that I had a cord around my neck and I came out breech, and that fucked up my memory, and I couldn't learn easily, efficiently. And yeah, and also I do believe I might have high functioning autism, which used to be known as Asperger's syndrome. And again, I haven't been diagnosed, and to get diagnosed for those disabilities you have to pay money, and I don't have that sort of money to spend. Now that looks interesting. I do wonder if we're going to leave it like that or if we're going to make it better version of this. I actually like this version. I like this bit here. So maybe we could cut that out and stretch it across. But basically school was not a nice place, folks. It was not a place where you could feel like you were getting anywhere, like you were learning and having fun, having a social life and being good at academic as well. I was bad at both of them, both the social and academic. I do consider even though the high functioning autism suspected, of course, was probably the cause of my social problems, at least now I have a use for it. It does help me with my focus on my task of making photocopier art. And basically I see that as an asset rather than not. And basically... but the low functioning parts, that's a real hard thing to live with, because I wish I could just Google things and learn new things, and I just can't comprehend what it says, and I can't keep a train of thought when I'm reading a sentence. I keep forgetting. I keep losing the train of thought. So it's gotten worse now that I'm 50. Over time it's just progressively gotten worse, my memory problems, and it's really a pain in the ass, but what can you do, you know? And having this stuff undiagnosed at school was absolutely disastrous, and it was difficult. No, I don't know if I like that. I do wonder if we're going to redo it again. I'm just going to get the book out, the magazine out, and do another version and see if we can do a better version. I'm just going to switch that back to 100, and we're just going to lighten it. Got to lighten it, folks, not leave it too dark, otherwise you master it too dark, it looks yuck. It does. So we're just going to try that again. Try and take this picture and use it again. But basically, yeah, I used to get in trouble at school for not applying myself, which is the disadvantage of not being diagnosed with an intellectual disability. Is you're expected to work like everyone else. There's no excuse. And it was really hard to bear that, and to bear the teasing and the bullying, And of course my brother used to sometimes get teased about me as well, and that just added more pressure. So I'm really not happy with school, or not happy the way they handled me and myself at school. I really wish they could have been a little more lenient on me, a lot more compassionate. I know the teachers most of the time I got along with them, but basically I just couldn't perform at the level that I was expected to perform, and it really was a difficult pill to take, trying to deal with this shit, not being able to learn. And I would have loved to have been able to learn, you know. I would have loved to have been able to be an A-grade student, not an A-grade dunce and teasing victim. I hated that. I wish I could go back. I wish I could have my revenge on these bitches, folks. I'm trying to, despite my disability and the lack of money that I get because I work in Australian Disability Enterprise, another word for a fancy word for a sheltered workshop, basically. And basically I'm trying to get recognised as a talented photocopier artist. And this is where the high-functioning autism really comes into its own. And yes, it caused trouble at school with the teasing and the bullying and the social problems, but basically it's better to focus on that than to focus on the fucking intellectual crap that I just have no control over. And basically I just wish I didn't have to deal with it, you know. Like, I wish the kids at school could have just left me alone, you know, just let me be. You know, don't have to fucking be my friend, you just have to leave me alone, fucktards. And I'm trying to now, you know, I missed out. They also caused me to make some bad decisions, like I could have married if I hadn't have believed in them, that I was a piece of shit, that I wasn't worthy of being married and wasn't marriageable enough. And that's what happened. So I missed out on my partner Luigi. I could have married him at 19. I'm now 50 and I'm trying to find him, and I need to get on the 6 o'clock news on Channel 9 to get my material out there. And I'm trying to get recognised as a talented artist and make money out of selling my art. And I need Channel 9 to help me to achieve this goal, because I'm not rich. I claim disability support pension. I live in a social housing. I work in, as I said, in an ADE, and basically this is not the kind of lifestyle I want to have much longer. And the cost of living is going up. This photocopier is probably going to be off service agreement soon, so I need to get on the air on the 6 o'clock news. And I really want to give back to society if I could. You know, give back what I've claimed on Centrelink and housing and all that sort of thing. Instead of having to be a taxpayer's burden, you know. I bloody fucking hate being a taxpayer's burden, folks. The teasers and the bullies, I'll fucking give them a message. Fuck yous, assholes. When I become fucking rich and famous, I'm still going to remember you fucks, that you fucked up my life, you fucked up my ideas, you fucked up my plans. Go to hell, bitches, you teasers and bullies. You're going to look like fucking monkeys. Go scratch your armpits and eat some fucking bananas and screech. I hope you fucking work for bananas, because there's not much happening in the workplace, you fucktards. Yeah, it's up to you, those fuckwits. Anyway, that's come up looking quite a treat. And that's it, Channel 9. It's up to you, Channel 9, that you play my material so that I can get out of this situation, so I can fucking make a new life before I get too old. So it's up to you, Channel 9. You've got the power. I want to get off the taxpayer's purse, and I want to be self-sufficient, and I want to make money and help other people less fortunate than myself. I want to give back to society. I don't want to cost society anymore. I need your help. It's easy for you. You just have to put my stuff on air and that'll work. I'm sure it will. I've got to think positive. So there you go, Channel 9. It's up to you. It's all up to you, folks. Got to go.